The 12 Laws of Karma. If you've ever heard the phrases "what goes around comes around" or "you reap what you sow," you're already familiar with karma. Depending on who you ask, karma operates according to a set of 12 rules or laws. Here, we'll explain what karma is and the 12 laws that govern it, according to spirituality experts. 1. The Great Law, or the Law of Cause and Effect. The Great Law, also known as the Law of Cause and Effect, is the first karma law on the list for good reason. It serves as a foundation. This is the main principle of how Indian traditions have always thought about karma, according to Vos, and works essentially like Isaac Newton's third law of motion. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. In a sense, if you do good things will come back to you. When you do bad things happen to you. In many ways, it really is as simple. 2. The Law of Creation. The Law of Creation, according to Vos, is all about how your relationship with karma influences the life you're creating. He observes that in some cases, we can be unknowingly influenced by our own karma rather than actively creating the reality we desire. For those who believe in karma as an ethical principle, the real question is how you react to what is in front of you right now. Because karma is more than just your past. It also concerns your future, he says, adding that we are always given a choice that not only creates our reality but also influences our karma in the future. 3. The Law of Humility. The Law of Humility can be understood by considering what the word itself means. Humility is defined as a modest or low view of one's own importance, and accepting any bad karma that has come back around to you takes humility. This necessitates a broader view of your karmic weight, acknowledging, and accepting, that you may be carrying negative karma that you aren't even aware of. He also adds that humility is required to attract good karma in the future, as ventures approached with anything other than a humble attitude aren't exactly good from a karmic standpoint. 4. The Law of Growth. Human consciousness, on both a collective and individual scale, is constantly expanding, just as the universe is. The Law of Growth relates to how rare and valuable it is to be born as a human, because you have such an opportunity to make decisions, to make moral and ethical choices. This is a lifetime where you can really make some serious progress, so don't waste it, whatever personal growth means to you. 5. The Law of Responsibility. The Law of Responsibility is about holding yourself accountable for your actions in the past and in the future. In terms of the past, it reminds us that what we do in our lives eventually comes back to haunt us. In terms of the future, it reminds us that we have responsibilities in our lives. It's not always clear what your responsibility or duty should be at any given time, but the key is to take the time to assess what your responsibility or duty really is, adding, "I think that's actually the point of a well-examined life." 6. The Law of Connection. The Law of Connection emphasizes how everything is interconnected. It asserts that beyond our senses, every thought, action, and event is somehow related to everything else. In the Jain tradition, our souls are interdependent, forming a kind of network. Karma as an ethical principle becomes even more important when we realize that our own karma affects not only us but also this collective network. It's a call to ethical action, especially when it comes to environmental and other matters. 7. The Law of Focus, or the Law of Force. The Law of Focus, also known as the Law of Force, governs how we direct our energy at any given time. The bottom line with this law is how our mental focus or force translates to our karma. Think about it in terms of where you put your energy and what you choose to act on. Are we truly giving our all to the things and people in our lives? Are we paying attention? Are we paying attention? Asking yourself these questions can help you identify the type of energy that is driving your behavior. 8. The Law of Giving and Hospitality. The Law of Giving and Hospitality relates to the Eastern concepts of dana and puja, with puja being acts of devotion, and dana being the practice of cultivating generosity. In relation to karma, he explains, one of the key acts of puja really is showing hospitality to the thing that you're honoring, whether that's God, a guru, your elders, your parents or grandparents, and so forth. And dana, it adds, is about doing these things selflessly, without expecting anything in return. It's a true act of servitude and giving of yourself, which, you guessed it, results in good karma. 9. The Law of Here and Now. The Law of Here and Now entails letting go of the past and acting without looking ahead. Self-forgiveness can come into play with this law, as it's easy to be concerned about things that we know have earned us some bad karma. Can believe in paying for crimes, but karma will do that for you eventually. In Buddhism, karma is thought of as things that weigh on you. As a result, when we are trapped in the past, we are not in the present. Similarly, When we are too focused on the future, we miss out on the present moment. And this applies to both the laws of humility, giving, and hospitality, because your actions should be motivated by a clear heart in the present moment. Because it's the right thing to do rather than any future things you wish to happen. 10. The law of change. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, Albert Einstein said, which Vos notes is a good way to summarize the 10th law of karma. We can always change something, our mindset, our relationships, our living arrangements, just it's up to us to do so. This law also relates to the concepts of shaping your reality, growing, and taking responsibility for yourself. It's an invitation to effect change rather than being affected by it. 11. The law of patience and reward. If karma can truly cross lifetimes, it should go without saying that you may not see the fruits of your good or bad deeds right away. In some cases, you may be disappointed to learn that your good karma may be rolling around in the next lifetime, though that doesn't mean you won't get any of it in this life. The key is, of course, patience, for the long-term reward that comes with accumulated good karma. I'm not sure if that's necessarily very satisfying to people, but it's the idea that there's always a much longer trajectory for karma. 12. The law of significance and inspiration. Last but not least, the law of significance and inspiration reminds us that we all have an important role to play in the human story. It's not that we're unimportant, it's that we're infinitesimally important, and that's essentially what this law is all about. In other words, any one of our contributions may seem insignificant at any given time, but the significance is to stick with it. After all, you never know which seemingly insignificant decision will cause a ripple effect. The main point. Karma can be found throughout history in a variety of traditions and religions, with one central theme: you get what you deserve, for better or worse. Understanding the 12 laws of karma allows you to gain a better understanding of yourself, your motivations, and how to operate in a way that frees you from heavy karma and invites in the good.